Wakey, wakey, rise and shine.
What will we be putting in our mouths today? Shut up, Ben.
Good morning.
Why are you dressed like that?
Because we're doing a Fridgecam on chef tips.
If I had to describe James in 3 words, it would be full of tips. And James has very kindly agreed to dress up as a chef and give us some of his tips today. It's very kind of you, thank you very much.
I was a chef once.
Were you really?
And then I started working here.
Tip numero uno. That's Spanish for tip number 1.
If you're trying to make anything greener, soups, sauces, put spinach in it, because spinach, no flavour, but loads of colour.
See, whereas I would have gone for Kermit the Frog,
No.
which would have added green but also flavour.
Tip number 2, whenever you're roasting a chicken, stick lemon or lime in the cavity.
Do you want to say bum?
I wanted to say bum.
Then you should say bum.
Bum.
And what does it do when you stick a chicken up a lemon's bum?
Well, the lemon steams the chicken from the inside and flavours it, and that means you get a really moist, succulent chicken. Jamie, whilst
Yes.
we're on the subject of chicken,
Okay.
tip number 3, if you're ever cooking pieces of chicken, so not whole chicken, you can soak it in buttermilk to make it extra succulent.
Before you cooked it?
Before you've cooked it,
Yeah.
overnight,
Yeah.
preferably, and it'll break down all the proteins and it'll make it really succulent and moist. And you can flavour it with anything you want.
Anything you want?
Yeah, chili, oregano, thyme. Tip number 4, when you're cooking asparagus. So before you cook it, peel it.
What? No. You don't peel asparagus.
Yes, you do.
But why would you peel asparagus?
It's all woody on the outside.
What? Oh, right, carry on.
So then you cure it for 10 minutes in a mix of 50-50 salt and sugar. And not only does it season it, but it draws out all the moisture. So when you cook it normally, they are extra crunchy.
That is a brand new tip to me.
Yeah, it's really good. And it doesn't take a lot of time. Just while you're prepping everything else, chuck it in. I've got tip number 5 for you.
Is it about steak?
It's kind of about steak.
It's definitely about steak.
It's
isn't
also
it?
about other stuff.
Yeah, but steak.
So whenever you're trying to heat something really, really hot, so you're trying to get a grill pan or a wok really hot, heat it for up to 10 minutes until it's really smoking hot.
10 minutes?
10 minutes, it's a long time.
That's a long
But
time.
it's worth that time because when you put your veg or your stir fry or your steak into the pan, it's going to get really caramelized. You want the black bits because that's where the flavour is.
Steak.
Oh no! What's happened?
2 weeks in a row.
We've done this again. It's not as if we filmed this all in the same day though,
No.
is it? So James and I are here to tell you about what Sorted Food have been doing this week, starting on Tuesday with bibimbap.
Yes, it's Korean.
Absolute. Korean's my new favourite type of cuisine.
Why is that?
Because it's just delicious and it does everything.
It is. Bibimbap is rice with everything delicious in it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Mike, we made a recipe on Friday as well.
We sure did.
It was a mango Swiss roll.
It was, and if you're tired of boring old normal Swiss rolls, then stick some mango in there and it's
Transformed.
delicious. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
transformational.
Cool, back to the tips.
Oh, you're back again.
Tip number
6.
6. This is kind of 4 tips in one, so it's kind of 6 to
7,
10.
8, 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
You can't count.
This is about pasta.
Pasta.
And pasta.
Oh, pasta.
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 Stop it.
What?
Stop putting oil in your pasta water.
I have
You
never-
don't need to. You don't need. You have. I've seen it. He's always put oil in his pasta water, and it doesn't need it. It won't stick. What's important is that you have a large pan of water, so as much water to pasta as you can have. Rolling boil, so all that water is separating the pasta itself, and season it well, because the pasta's going to take on all that seasoning, and pasta is basically a vehicle for seasoning.
I don't think I've ever put oil in.
Stop it. Stop it. Tip number 7. Do you like impressing people, Jamie?
With a body like this, I let it do the talking by itself.
Okay, so you need something to impress people. When you're plating, there are some things to look out for. So I like to do really nice white plates, round plates, just classic, you know, classic plates. Leave some white space, so don't fill the whole plate. Leave a little bit of space. Let the food do the talking in the middle of the plate.
Okay, so the space is around the outside of the plate.
It can actually be anywhere, like a lot of chefs like to do a little bit of a sidey plate, you know.
Yeah.
I like that, that's nice.
Yeah.
Give it height, colour, texture, because that's stuff that you can see, you know.
And where do you stand on the smear?
Oh, the smear. Now, is it a smear, or is it a swoosh, or is it a swipe?
Should it just be relegated
Specify.
to the year 2000?
Perhaps, yeah. Jamie, you look like a man that struggles with scrambled eggs. Well, let me help you. This is for people who like their eggs fully cooked.
Okay.
So, you know, you undercook them so that they're creamy. But if you want them fully cooked, take them a little bit longer. So if you run a spoon through it, it kind of just starts coming in.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then add a dollop of creme fraiche. So what that'll do is, because it's cold, it'll stop the cooking and it'll give it that creaminess that fully cooked eggs sometimes don't have. And it'll also give a really nice freshness to the eggs, which I really like, tanginess.
That's good, but it sounds like that might be a controversial tip.
I'm looking forward to what people think of this one. And number 9.
What a great number to finish.
Everyone knows that sauces are the most important thing on a plate.
Apart from the steak.
They bring everything together. So, to get a really glossy, good one, add really cold butter at the end.
What, just before you serve it?
Just to finish the sauce.
Okay.
So you can serve it a little bit later.
Okay.
But just to finish the sauce, add cold butter. And what this does is it emulsifies into it. And because it's cold, it goes really slowly so it doesn't split. And it makes it really glossy, thickens it a little bit, and it's just delicious.
James, I know this isn't the first time I've said this, but I love your tips. If you love James's tips as well, make sure you like the video. If you want to see them all in full written detail, then they are all down below in a blog post in the description box. Click on that. You've got all of James's tips that he's just shared with us now, and a load more at the same time. James, thank you very much. A round of applause from everyone here for James's tips.
Thanks, Jamie. Thank you.
Don't clap yourself. Don't clap yourself.
Well, I think that Fridgecam had everything.
It did. It had a super silky sauce.
It did. It had ways to make stuff greener.
It did. It had perfect steak.
It sure did. It also had us saying goodbye and see you next week, 10 a.m. UK time.
Goodbye.
On a Sunday.